The forwards Britt, Cunningham back again, Nicol, joint the captain Stankovic and Shields. And on the bench, Ward, Hyam, Martin and Bennett, coach Ian Millward. Now the men from Bradford with us at fullback, Vicona, Naylor, Costin and McAvoy. Robbie Paul, the captain, alongside Deacon. Up front, Vanganar, Lowes, Fielden, Gartner, Peacock and Forshaw. Just about at full strength, the Bulls, with the exception of the injured Paul Anderson. Vinacolo back, Gilmore, McDermott and Moore. The coach was Brian Noble.
Paul Sculthorpe gets this game in motion. Here we go. And this is Stuart Fielden. Blonde hair and a great race from the kickoff, led by Wellens, led by Stankovic. And Fielden is down and is only just getting to his feet after that first collision. Well, Bradford Bulls in possession.
Nearly had a sensational start to this game. That ball bobbled away. It was only inches away from the crossbar.
Brandon Costin, he will forever be remembered as the man who put the tackle in on Sean Long in his Huddersfield days and put Long out of the game for such a long, long time.
And rather surprisingly, the St. Helens fans have not forgotten.
Play on, says the referee. Lowes with the kick downfield. That will swirl, it will hang. Saints have got the wind at their backs in this first half. Darren Albert, and he takes the first tackle of the match for St. Helens.
Well, there was certainly interference. He didn't drop it, did the big fella Joe Vanganar. But so important that either side really make their mark in the defensive pattern.
It's now with St. Helens. And that's Darren Britt who gets to his feet. Cunningham flicks the ball to Sculthorpe. This now is Peter Shields, and that was a very good tackle from Robbie Paul, and it had to be.
Beautiful pass from Sculthorpe, back on the inside. Neat little kick too.
That's bobbling about all over the place. Vicona picks it up eventually. New Love with the tackle.
Beautiful offload. It looked a touch forward perhaps, but try to tell the fans underneath us here in this long stand at St. Helens. Big night for the referee Robert Connolly. It's not the best place to come and officiate. Not easy.
2 minutes of the game gone. Lowes goes down the narrow side, and this is Jamie Peacock, tackled by Sculthorpe and by Chris Joint.
Good scrambling defence though by the Bulls. They got back. It was a beautiful inside pass, as we mentioned. Shields made good progress forward, but they did scramble back. It is one of the highlights of this season from Bradford.
Well, they've always found wins at Knowsley Road difficult to come by. Just 5 wins here in 29 since 1973. Costin with a kick over the top of Darren Albert's head, and Albert will have to field this on his own try line, which he does. Then flicks the pass out wide to Anthony Stewart. Good chase, led by Vanganar.
That's the way that St. Helens always played. Now there, Albert coming back for it, and there was helped out by Stewart. Any other side, you'd say, well, that was dangerous play to pass the ball underneath your own sticks, but not here at Saints.
Darren Britt charging the ball forward for St. Helens. Ian Millward, the St. Helens coach, won the corresponding fixture last year, 38-26. Sculthorpe, 2 tries, 5 goals. Here is Cunningham. This will give Great Britain and Saints such a lift to see him back.
Good run as well. He showed the power, upper body strength, just fended off. I've often said it, Eddie, but this charge down there, chance for Lowes.
Picked up though by Darren Albert. It's got to be 6 to go for St. Helens, and it is. The referee wipes the tackle count down.
Just making that point, Eddie, I've often said that Kieran Cunningham is so strong, he could play him as a prop forward as well. Maybe use Newton in the Great Britain side to go down to Australia.
Who knows? David Waite will make the decision, of course. This is Sculthorpe. That's a good ball to New Love.
Great tackle.
Was a super tackle by Scott Naylor. Here now is Darren Britt. Bounces off Joe Vanganar. That will be one of the key battles of this match. Gets to his feet. 12 metres away. Shields. Back it goes to Wellens. Here is Martin Gleeson trying to skip his way around Costin. Couldn't do so. Quick play the ball. Hoppy to Wellens. Last tackle. A dab kick by Wellens. Well fielded though by Robbie Paul. and the Bradford skipper makes good ground.
Good positioning there by the New Zealander. Anticipated the kick from Helens. Really been impressed with the way St Helens is open. They're getting the ball out wide. That's got to be interference, and rightly so. Stankovic not too impressed, and that stupid play from the youngster. He was all over him, and then he grabbed at the arm. That's the reason why he lost it. Clearly states in the rule book that once you've made the tackle, you go away from the man trying to play the ball. He failed to do that, and then he came out with a few words of, well, certainly not wisdom to Robert Connolly. That'll be noted by this fella, Ian Millward.
Lowe's restarts. Vanganar, St Helens had moved up to halt him, which they do eventually. And Lowe's again, looping past to Deacon. Good ball then onto Gartner. He offloads to Robbie Paul. They have men on the overlap out wide. Robbie Paul to Naylor. Oh, Naylor just puts the ball down. Newlove scoops it up.
Well, Naylor should have stood outside. He was just on the path, back on the angle, just as Robbie Paul was about to offload. Big opportunity. You could see Naylor just stepping off the right foot. Chance gone. There was a huge gap.
Darren Britt. Oh, that's a big hit by Vanganar on Helens.
You didn't have control of it, lost it, St Helens.
St Helens have lost the ball, says Robert Connolly. This will be contentious.
Yeah,
he's right though.
That's a great call by Mr. Connolly. The eagle eye of the official, and rightly so. A little bit delayed was the pass from Sculthorpe. Well, we talk about the power of this Bradford pack. They're not all that small, are they, in the St Helens jumper? This is the incident. You could see there that Helens had no control at all.
Bradford with possession from the scrum. Here is Brandon Costin. Costin is through them, and Costin will score the first try. Right from the base of the scrum, Brandon Costin with the try for Bradford. First try in 2 months against Salford last week for Costin. Just like double-decker buses in Bradford, Costin's tries come along in twos. He's unmoved, Brian Noble, but that was a wonderful sweeping move from the base of the scrum.
It all came about from that mistake. Sculthorpe's pass to Helens. Helens couldn't control it. Robert Connolly, the referee, gave the scrum, and from that position, Brendan Costin, there's a neat angle back on the run. You'll see it here. Oh, beautiful stuff by Michael Withers on the inside. Unusual for Sculthorpe to come up with a missed tackle like that, but it allowed Costin the room to move, and he finished it well. Watch for the angle run, fullback, back on the inside. Scully doesn't normally miss those. Costin races for the line. They're pretty quiet here at Knowsley Road.
Well, he grabbed a try here, did Brandon Costin, with Huddersfield last year. Huddersfield beaten 22-44 last March, and Costin tries in successive matches, and Deacon here now with the opportunity from bang in front, but the wind has just taken the ball off the kicking tee. When he settles himself again, Deacon with the opportunity to add the extras on. Bradford will be ahead 6-0 if this goes over. Deacon needing 11 points for 500 for Bradford. There's two of them. St Helens 0, Bradford 6. First blood to the men from Yorkshire.
And what a lift for the Bulls too. It's all about taking your opportunities. A few moments earlier it was Paul Sculthorpe that put through the big fella, Peter Shields. I mentioned the fact that Bradford's defence scrambled back very efficiently, but on that occasion it took a beautiful inside pass from Withers and costing him for the try. It's warming up.
Vanganar fields the kick-off and drives it forward 15 metres before he is hauled down. Stankovic and Gleeson there with the tackling. Nathan McAvoy is the man at dummy half. Showed it to Fielden, little dummy as well inside to Deacon. Eventually took the tackle from Nicol and Cunningham. Lowe's off the deck and into the arms of his captain Robbie Paul. A jinking run from Paul. Robbie Paul, oh, he's beaten Darren Albert, all ends up.
Did well, heavy traffic, made sure he was going to get it. Anthony Stewart was chasing him down all the time, wanted to keep possession.
Well, Bradford looking mean, and this is Stuart Fielden taking the latest tackle. We've had 9 minutes. Bradford ahead 6-0. Mike Forshaw running off James Lowes. Nearly through Nicol and Stankovic.
Delayed pass. A lot of people thought it was forward. It looked 50-50.
Last tackle here. Lowes with the dab, but eagerly collected by Sean Hoppy, the Kiwi. Back in the side tonight. He missed Castleford last week.
Poor option there from the hooker Lowes. But this man, Sean Hoppy, has been around so long. New Zealand international, read it ever so well. This is building up to be the classic we expected.
Peter Shields tackled low down by Danny Gartner and around the top by Mike Forshaw, and he went for the 40-20, but it's out on the full. Well, they're playing with a strong wind at their backs, and no doubt Ian Millward has told his men to use that tactic when possible. And that one, though, sailed out on the full of Paul Sculthorpe's boot.
Well, the strong wind, it's coming in at the corners of the apex of the two stands, and he perhaps didn't realise the force of it. No doubt the message will get out from Ian Millward that maybe the option is to give it plenty of air. It's swirling all over the joint.
Robbie Paul just managed to hang on. That wasn't the best pass from Paul Deacon, and a good tackle by Darren Albert. They're 40 metres away. Naylor to Deacon. Oh, that's a mistake by Peacock. Early in the tackle count too.
Bit sloppy as well. Brian Noble will be far from impressed. They were stood still, very sloppy. Deacon there giving it to a man that's, well, he should have been standing back, running onto the football. You see how he had to reach for it.
So St Helens then breathe a little sigh of relief. Sculthorpe will certainly. It was his kick that sailed out on the full. He plays the ball. Now then, here comes Peter Shields.
Offside. Will they go for the quick? No, they'll calm it down. They haven't had possession for quite a long period. So Sculthorpe, rather than take a quick one, and you can see that the forward and the bottom half of your screen well and truly offside.
So an opportunity here for St Helens with a sloppy pass. That was a really sloppy pass from Wellens, and Saints weren't waiting for it. They weren't looking.
Well, lackadaisical play from both sides, taking their eye off the ball and also losing concentration.
Joint finds Cunningham.
Look at this. Well, Paul Wellens.
That's a better ball to Shields, almost over the top of Mike Forshaw. Sculthorpe in a dummy half. Here is Wellens, head bandaged early. This now is Gleeson, trying to go round Costin. Beautiful back flick to Hoppy, but good chasing down by Deacon, and that could have been a flop by Gartner. This is Nicol. Nicol tried to muscle his way to the line. 4 tackles gone, 2 left in the bank for St Helens.
Good job.
Looking for a penalty, none coming. Cunningham. Try for Sculthorpe. Easy. So easy. What happened to the Bradford defence? Well, Sculthorpe will not score an easier try than that all year. Brian Noble can't believe what he's just seen. But Paul Sculthorpe, 4 points needed for 500 with St Helens. He's got them now.
Well, I know it's hot, but they just melted away. Joe Banganar stopped, and so did Jimmy Lowes. It's yours. No, it's yours. And Sculthorpe said it's mine. Never mind TRY, it's SOFT. Soft as they come.
Well, Sculthorpe got the try, and he now will try and improve matters. $39 goals this year, 500 points now with St Helens, 502 with St Helens, almost 400 of those in the last 12 months. Sculthorpe levels matters, it's 6 apiece at Knowsley Road.
Well, he was a man that missed Costin, and this is a mistake that not Costin but cost the side. Peacock drops the ball, and from there on, St Helens, as they do so efficiently time and time again over the past few years, they strike back within minutes. And there is a hero of the moment. That tips the scales back from the mistake he made from the missed tackle.
Well, I must say, when Sculthorpe scored that try, I just waited. I thought that the whistle must have blown because the Bradford defence, it just stopped, didn't it?
Sure did. Vangenaar and Lowe's, they were rooted. They're like two ships aground there, Eddie.
Here is Sculthorpe again now.
I'm not sure you could hardly call this fella Titanic, could you? He doesn't sink, he keeps going time and time again.
Shields bounces off one tackle, almost gets away from Gartner, flicks the ball away to Cunningham. He just shrugs Gartner away. Here goes Cunningham! This is fantastic stuff from Cunningham. Long ball to Hoppy. Inside it goes to Gleeson, clattering tackle by McAvoy. How heartening for Great Britain to see Cunningham like that. Stankovic, Sculthorpe, Shields.
What a wonderful break from the hooker. They're not finished yet.
They're not. It's Sculthorpe again. Second try for Sculthorpe. Created by a devastating run from Kieran Cunningham. Sculthorpe's second try of the night. Well, they are raving about Trent Barrett in Australia. Ian Millwood's coached both of them, and he reckons Sculthorpe's better than Barrett. But watch this.
Well, he just shrugged off the attempt from Gartner. Made the 30 metres out wide. Hoppy knew there was nowhere other than back on the inside. They got back in numbers, but they were always going to be stretched out wide. This is superb. Neat little step from the play of the ball. Watch Sculthorpe pick himself out. They're all at sea. Gardner and Paul, easy. So easy, but what a lift for the British side. The run from Cunningham, I said he may have been a little bit underdone match fitness, been out for what, 6 weeks? But he's back with blaze of glory.
And Sculthorpe has added the extras. It's Paul Sculthorpe and St Helens 12, Bradford Bulls 6.
Well, it was so soft. That's the second soft try. On both occasions, he's taken a couple of strides and popped into the whole area. Well, he's scored some wonderful, wonderful 4-pointers over his career. But none will be as soft as that one or the previous one. And Brian Noble must be wondering what on earth has happened to this, well, rugged defence that has shown its mettle all throughout this year and, of course, last year.
Well, it does your old heart good if you're a Great Britain Rugby League supporter to see Cunningham and Sculthorpe in this sort of mood. And I'm sure that Phil Clark on the sideline, you will be no exception.
Yeah, certainly with Kieran Cunningham, you tend to find when a player's been out for a few weeks, they come back refreshed, and that's exactly what Cunningham looks at the moment. Just full of life and energy, although unusually for the top two teams in the Tethley Super League. I agree with Steve-O, we've seen some uncharacteristic mistakes and some pretty soft tries, but I think there's a long way to go yet.
There is a long way to go. Saints are ahead by 12 points to 6 just. And Sculthorpe's gone for another 40-20. This time it bounces in the field of play, but McAvoy is there to run it back for the Bulls. Met by fierce resistance from Stankovic, but he makes a few more metres forward. Good, rugged running from Nathan McAvoy. Costing now for the Bulls.
Good
solid defence.
Good tactics as well from St Helens. You can see the lengthening shadows at certain parts of this field. So they are looking into the sun. It is a bit of a problem. Boy, oh boy, didn't this fella field and look like Mick Cassidy.
Well, he's a bit bigger, but I know what you mean. And it's another penalty here, given away. Wellens all over the top of him.
Not only that, Stankovic went to hold the jumper. It's a second silly penalty he's given away. And it's not doing his team any good. No doubt Mr Millwood will send out a message.
Vangenaar on the charge, straight at Wellens. And Wellens just looking at the referee and saying that Vangenaar came at him with the elbow raised. This is Fielden again. Not too sure about the blonde rinse, but if it makes him play better, particularly from a British point of view.
I like it.
Well, you would. Forshaw, Robbie Paul, Deacon on the run around. With us.
Great defence yet again from Sculthorpe. He certainly shrugged off that earlier. He's lost it. That'll be a penalty, surely.
It is.
Crowd don't like it.
Well, the crowd are baying here.
Well, they always do. It was reaped away. No doubt about it. Paul Nealov was wrestling for that ball at all occasion.
Here is Jamie Peacock now, nearly through, but Nicol low down, Cunningham over the top. A golden opportunity here for Bradford. Oh, Vanganar! What a hit by Cunningham!
Was it ever? That's the move that they do. The prop forward coming on the angle, back on the inside from Lowe's. They read it ever so well.
Robbie Paul to Mike Forshaw. Off it goes to Lowe's. Back it goes to Deacon. A bit of space here for Bradford now. Deacon trying to get round Sculthorpe. Moving out wide. Good ball then to Scott Naylor. Good defence from St Helens. They follow them all the way.
Beautiful football. Keeping the ball alive, twisting in the tackle.
Vicona offloads to Withers. They want it wide. Fielden wants it up the middle. Good tackle by Nicol and Stankovic. Right underneath the sticks. Lowe's fires the pass to Forshaw. Tries to come inside Wellens. Offloads to Robbie Paul. It bounces round like a bagatelle. What's happened? What's happened here?
You tell me.
Knock on is the decision.
Where was Elton John when this was on? Pinball wizard. Eat your heart out. How he's pulled up with a knock-on for that is anyone's guess. It's head and feed. Let's have a look at it in slow motion. Not a bad kick. In and out, legs about. And who was going to shake it out? Well, I don't know where the knock-on has come from there.
He's given it head and feed to the Bulls. More pressure here for St Helens. Withers is gathered in by Sculthorpe. And also there was Newlove, and also in there too, that was Gleeson. This is Forshaw trying to spin away.
Wonderful defence already. They're not just going one man going for the legs, they're also smothering the football. Great tactics.
James Lowe's, Robbie Paul, Fielden the dummy runner, but he is gathered in. But he gets the ball away. Fielden, Withers, back it goes to Naylor. Nicol was there with Cunningham again. 3 tackles gone. The second successive set of 6.
How long can this St Helens defence hang out? Albert, super pass.
Moved off the mark there. Lowe's rather with a dab into the in-goal area. Comes to nothing. But it appeared the Bradford man moved off the mark.
Well, this will be frustrating for the Bulls. I don't think there was anything untowards there. They were both running for the football. Now that's an unusual call there by Robert Connolly. From the tap, Bradford had failed to get back the requested 10 metres. That's why there was another penalty given. Oh, it's all go here, the tension. Huh.
Cunningham goes down the short side. Australia, Great Britain, we're building up to it now. It's 2 weeks today. 10 o'clock in the morning, Sky Sports 1 live. We have 2 prime-time replays later that day. 5 o'clock, Sky Sports 1, and later on at 9 on Sky Sports 3. No excuses. You must watch that. Wellens, beautiful ball. One of the Great Britain heroes rather, and England in the World Cup. Gleeson, this rather is Cunningham to Darren Britt. Britt's over. Darren Britt, he's not giving it yet. He wants to check the grounding.
Well,
Robert Connolly.
He must have been on the blind side there because it looked okay for me. But I say they took the gamble, run with it. I think he was on the last.
Darren Britt believes he scored.
So do I. Yeah.
No problem.
It bobbled a little bit, but I had the presence of mind to drag it in. I think that's full control. It was Withers that tried everything to knock it out. Certainly got his hand to it, reefs it away. But the big fella had enough strength. There he loses it, but then quickly gathers it in, scoops it through. TRY. Saints on a roll. Bradford's defence is just falling apart.
Well, not convinced yet, just wanting to check that Darren Britt hasn't lost control of that football. Now then, that's the moment that the video referee has to decide on.
Well, the Australians score tries like that all the time. And if I'll bet my house it's TRY.
Steve Cross will make his decision and gives St Helens the try.
Bring on Bob the Builder. Extension time at my place. But this Bradford defence, they're in all sorts of trouble. We saw the build up there from St Helens. Quick play the ball, but the Bradford defence is standing back. They're not getting into their faces. Look at them hanging back. What's happening? No good with one man going out of the line. You've got to go as a unit, and it is just absolutely pitiful. Prop forward Bangor on the deck. They allowed Cunningham the room to move. And Britt, he'll enjoy that. They don't score many tries to prop forwards.
Well, he doesn't. That's only his second try of the year. His first try on this ground. It's his 5th game in a row for Darren Britt. His longest spell in the side. Darren Britt, you mentioned, Steve-O, the prop forwards don't score many tries. Darren Britt actually scored 12 in 13 years in Australia. So, words of wisdom.
You know, you could have knocked me down with a feather there. I think that's 2 compliments in the month.
2 compliments in 12 years. But St Helens, they took the punch from Bradford early when Bradford led 6-0. But boy, have they come back off the canvas, and they have flattened Bradford with 3 quick tries. All of them converted by Paul Sculthorpe. 2 of the 3 scored by Sculthorpe, and Saints are ahead 18-6.
Well, we thought it was going to be a tense game and emotional as well. And look at this fella. Yes! He certainly doesn't. Look at that. Look at the space. Only one marker. Vangenard on the floor. They are just shot completely. Gardner went out of the line. If you go 1 out, you're like the dog back leg, or the back leg of a dog, should I say. Plenty of notes to put down, but plenty of try scorers too.
Yes, Ian Millwood watching on as St Helens drive the ball forward yet again by the try scorer Britt. Cunningham has made such a difference. What an impact. This is Wellens. Sculthorpe from dummy half. Joint now.
Well, Brian Noble has to get the message out that they've got to try to stop the running very close to the play the ball area. That's the second occasion that they've allowed Kieran Cunningham to make valuable meters forward, and he is just sucking them in and splitting them apart.
Sculthorpe's kick over the top, and Nathan McAvoy is going to have to work this away. That's a great kick, and it's a great chase.
He's happy, and why not?
Costin, dummy half. Deacon, on it goes to Gartner.
And it was a great kick from Paul Sculthorpe. You know, Eddie, Sculthorpe came up with that missed tackle early in the game. I hope he has a missed tackle for Great Britain against the Aussies, because since then, he has just absolutely outplayed anyone else on the park.
St Helens caught offside at the play the ball. Pressure easing on Bradford for the moment. Deacon will punt this into touch, which he does, far side.
Talking about the man that just kicked the ball, it was a wonderful opportunity tonight to prove to David Waite that it was an error in not selecting him to go down under for that test match. But he really has been well and truly out of this game. We haven't seen much of him, and that is the reason they've got to get back into the swing. Robbie Paul, Paul Deacon, they've got to start combining.
Here is Deacon now. Gartner's the runner, and Gartner nearly went without it. Stankovic has picked it up. Well, it's all going horribly wrong for Bradford at the moment.
Well, very lethargic to get onto that loose ball. Different kettle of fish when it came to the Saints players.
Well, they looked offside, the 2 would-be tacklers then. Certainly weren't standing square, I don't think. Here's Nicol for Saints.
Well, at least on that occasion, Bradford did move off the mark very quickly, getting into the ball carrier.
Shields. Sculthorpe. Good run here from Newler.
Oh, big hit there. Fielding caught him.
Yes, he did. Cunningham. On the bounce it goes to Peter Shields. And Shields will attack the Bradford line again. Oh, he was almost through. Good important tackle from Deacon. And also Lowe's in there too. Britt to Sculthorpe. You get the feeling every time St Helens attack there's a chance of a try. Now Robbie Paul will lead the counter. Gives it away then to Gartner. Gartner is hauled down by his opposite number, Chris Joint.
Interference. Well, he should have really been in a commanding position, and it's a quick tap.
Taken by Tavita Vaikona.
No doubt about it, Joint all over the man.
Here's Robbie Paul now.
You know, it's perhaps only the negative side of this St. Helens outfit. It's messing around at the play of the ball, giving away a valuable opportunity yet
There's
again.
another.
Well, he's got to do something about this. That's about the 5th on the trot, actually.
He wants a word with Chris Joint.
Not surprisingly.
The penalty count is 7-2 in Bradford's favour.
And 6 of those have come about by indiscretions.
There's too much interference to play the ball. That was a classic one where he dollied on top of him. Okay, mate. Okay.
Well, Chris Joint protesting the innocence of Paul Wellens. But Robert Connolly will have none of it.
Clean, they're playing the balls up, guys. He's about.
Well, Bradford really have lost their shape. They got a wonderful start, Costin try. They should have really started to build on that, but they've just completely lost it.
Good deep penalty from Deacon, though. They will rebuild here now, Bradford, from 18 metres out. And Fielden wants it and gets it. Good tackle low down by Gleeson and by Wellens. McAvoy nearly went without the ball. Cunningham got to him first, and Wellens is getting through a ton of work, is Paul Wellens, despite the bandaged head. Forshaw. Lowe's, good movement from Bradford. Forward a mile.
That is a typical example of a team that's lost its shape. It was a double run around out wide. A lot of teams utilise it, but you've got to have it to perfection.
James Lowe's questioned the call by Bob Connolly. It was a mile forward.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
But James Lowe's didn't think so, and had a word with Robert Connolly out of turn. Penalty rather than a scrum.
Well, there was no chance for Jamie Peacock. It looks fancy, but it's not effective. I think instead of putting on all these classy moves and double runarounds, I think maybe roll your sleeves up comes to mind and get through a little bit of work.
This is Darren Britt, Brian McDermott and Stuart Fielden with the tackle. Cunningham. Sculthorpe showed it to Albert. Ooh, bounced off the chest of Joint.
No advantage, they'll put the scrum down. But again, the opportunity was there, and that man, Paul Sculthorpe, yet again is just running the angles. See the pass, it was a good pass as well, just hit the chest. Just put off by the tackler.
5 away wins this year for Bradford. Last 2-1. 40 points to 12 at Warrington, and 48 points scored to 10 at Salford last Sunday. Robbie Paul with nowhere to go.
Well, they force him into one-out football nearly all of the time because of this defensive pattern. Look at that. Straight up into the face. They're smothering the ball.
Forshaw's the dummy half. Here is Brian McDermott now. Big hit by Stankovic. Castleford 4, Hull 6 after 35 minutes of the matches. And look at that. Wakefield 16 leads 10. 5 minutes to half-time. That's a surprise. That's a huge surprise. Long way to go yet there, long way to go here with Saints ahead, but Bradford in possession. 31 minutes on the clock here. Fielden looking for a penalty. There wasn't one then. This is Deacon. Deacon will hoist the kick. This is a tester for Hoppy. Oh, Costin got to it and will score.
That'll be a try. I'll have to see whether he's knocked it forward. But
could be two. Could be two here for Costin.
Just make sure they were to knock on up there, please.
Now, who knocked it forward? Was it Costin? Was it off the hands of Hoppy?
Doesn't matter, he caught it again before it was... here's the kick. He's not inside, so he's onside. That's what the video referee is looking at. That's okay. Now we'll push it up. Well, I don't know why he's having to look at that. Wasn't in the screen by the balls away. Come on. Oh, dearie me. He's got a metre. Now then. I think it was Wellens. Went back.
Hoppy.
This is Hoppy, sorry. This will be the try. Either way, he caught it. So it can't be a team to be a knock-on from Costin, so it's got to be a try.
Costin's come up with his second, we believe. Steve Cross, what say you? to Bradford. We told you there's a long way to go in this one yet. And Brandon Costin, 2 tries.
2 for Costin, 2 for Sculthorpe. It's a try fest so far. There was nowhere to go, was there? Deacon was looking for someone. Hoppy couldn't get to it, Costin did. That was good work. What a great run. Kept looking at the ball all the time. Didn't worry about Sean Hoppy.
And Deacon adds the extras. They've gone a little bit quiet at Knowsley Road. It's 18-12.
And boy, oh boy, didn't they need that. They were just drifting further and further out of this match. And though he has had little to do so far, Paul Deacon has come up with a magnificent kick. And Costin, not the most popular man here at this ground, for the reasons that Eddie mentioned earlier over the incident with Sean Long. But I must say, he's keeping Bradford in the game.
Well, that's Richard Moore on as well. So Richard Moore, Brian McDermott been brought off the bench by Brian Noble just to steady the ship a little. And I must say, since McDermott's arrival, Bradford have looked a little tighter.
Well, they needed a couple of workhorses, and they'll certainly get that from those 2.
Forshaw bounces away from one tackle. Stankovic did well to hang on to his ankles. Darren Britt gets out of the way wisely, because this is the last tackle. And Deacon with a kick over the top. It's gone between Albert and Stewart. And Darren Albert did well.
That was a good one indeed. Kicked it off the outside of his boot, so it had plenty of spin on it. Well, often it lifts your side when you score a try, and it certainly seems to have done that. But this Bradford outfit, they needed some beef.
Gleeson, Fielden on his back. Gleeson gets St Helens to halfway. Richard Moore was in attendance there as well. Here goes Peter Shields, another big hit. Moore again, and McDermott.
Well, he's supplying it, isn't he? This big fella, Richard Moore.
Brian Noble speaks very fondly of him. That was a grab.
That was a great hit, right across the shoulder.
Sculthorpe didn't like it. It's the last tackle. A dab over the top by Wellens, but straight down the throat of McAvoy. Hoppy and Stankovic bring him down.
Well, that's rattled Saints. That was a poor kick. And we talked about the difference in defence between these 2, but since Richard Moore and McDermott has come onto the field, they've brought about that toughness they needed.
McAvoy running flat. Now he'll straighten it. Sculthorpe and Newlove to bring him down. Game's just gone quiet. The crowd almost holding its breath at the moment as this game unfolds in front of them. It's a tense period of the match just before half-time. Can Saints hang on to this half-time lead? They've got 5.5 minutes in which to do it. I wonder what you say, Phil Clark.
Well, they're starting to get their act together a little bit more. The Bulls side here now. Robbie Paul running the line. But I think the Bulls, they've come up with another handling mistake. They've run it on the last and it's not come off for them. I think the fragility of the Bradford defence really in this first half has been very surprising, and I think that'll be the element with which Brian Noble addresses at half-time. As with Saints, well, just a fantastic side, and if you give them field position and possession, they'll be a difficult team for the Bulls to handle.
It's now with Stankovic on halfway, offloads well to Shields. Cunningham again. Cunningham waited and delayed the pass to Darren Britt.
Oh, he got one right across the chops from McDermott there. Just whilst Phil Clark was talking, what a great tackle it was from Anthony Stewart on Scott Naylor. He really rattled the ribcage there.
Beautiful ball from Sculthorpe to Barry Ward.
Ward was looking as well.
Excellent tackle though from McDermott. Here is Cunningham. Now it's with Joyt. And Joyt stands in the tackle. Offloads again. Cunningham once more. Sculthorpe's at the gap. Flick pass.
Oh, it was nearly on as well. No play, no advantage. First knock on. Well, it's outstanding rugby league football from the St Helens side.
And
boy, oh boy, do these fans get value for money.
They certainly do. And drawing rich applause from the Knowsley Road crowd as well.
Just a little bit too high from this fella, the fullback Darren Albert. Just got the fingertips to it, couldn't drag it in. That would have been a bitter blow for the Bulls. who I think will take safety first tactics now, just to up the jumper, try to just eat away the clock.
Well, it's with the Bulls, with Vicona deep in their own territory.
Leave him, let's go.
I think Brian Noble will be quite happy to get into the sheds at half-time, just to sort a few things out. He's certainly done that by bringing the two big fellas off the bench, but he'll try to put some more shape back into their play.
This is Vicona, dumped on the halfway line. Lowe's, Richard Moore.
Impresses me every time I see him, this fella.
Well, it's a testimony to Brian Noble for letting him go to London Broncos on loan, because he's come back battle-hardened and ready for the Super League. Here is Costin to Robbie Paul. Now McAvoy.
Costin's picked up a bad knock. It looks as though it's his ribs.
High kick from Deacon, caused havoc before. Albert and Stewart. They're almost in each other's way.
Oh, dearie me.
Two men who look so alike from a distance, and Albert eventually taking control of the situation.
Well, that close, it looked as though they're probably in a mirror.
Here's Darren Albert now.
It surprised me that it's taken so long for Bradford to opt in this swirling wind to give it a bit of height. They scored the try for Costin, of course, from the kick from Paul Deacon. We saw another one there. And not surprisingly, Eddie, because it's been pretty difficult to breach this solid Saints defence.
Good defence here from Bradford on show. They've certainly tightened it up. This is Sculthorpe with a dab over the top looking for Darren Albert. But it bounced perfectly for Michael Withers. Now here comes the counter.
Nice option as well. Could just see that Withers just a little back. Got to it. The bounce certainly went their way.
Naylor takes it on from Vicona's pass.
It's important now that Saints make sure that this solid defence continues to half-time.
Brian McDermott once again up the middle. 250th career appearance last week against Salford for McDermott. What a servant he's been to the game. Robbie Paul, Mike Forshaw does well.
What a pass.
Robbie Paul, Paul Deacon. Here is Richard Moore. Monster of a boy at 19, Richard Moore. He really is. One for the future there. Lowe's. Hull have increased the lead at the Jungle. Dab through. Albert sweeps up. And Albert almost set off. Robbie Paul held on to his ankles.
Good position as well from Darren Albert.
Half-time at Bellevue. Wakefield hold the advantage. 16-10. Anthony Stewart. That would be one heck of a win for Wakefield.
Well, over the years, it's been a bit of a graveyard for the Leeds outfit. There's been some shock results there for many, many years.
Well, Leeds had a wonderful month of May, now looking at 3 defeats on a run. St Helens here have had 6 wins on the bounce. And it's a real rough house, this.
And it had to be, Eddie. Otherwise, the Bulls were just going to be blown away. And they are certainly putting the beef about now, Bradford. And Deacon's picked up a knock.
Last half minute of this first half. Sculthorpe will hoist the kick out wide. This is a tester, but it's claimed easily by Michael Withers. Brian Noble alongside Leon Price. So they will have the last use of the football in this first half.
What on earth has he done that for?
McAvoy with Cunningham on his back is wrestled to the ground.
Why on earth did Vicona offload with only seconds remaining? Deep in your half. Oh!
This is the last play of this first 40. And Jamie Peacock couldn't get the kick away. What a first half. What a bruising, interesting, fascinating first half this has been. Well, I wonder how things will change with the wind now at the backs of the Bradford Bulls. It's swirling, but generally they will run with it at their back. So will they get the sail up? And will they come home with a wet sail in this match? They have to make up 6 points. Richard Moore leading from the front as he was towards the back end of that first 40 minutes. Eventually allowing Barry Ward to get to his feet. And here they come with Peter Shields, St Helens. It's great to close this game out early.
It's great to see the likes of young Moore coming out there and doing his best. He's certainly laying the gauntlet down to his coach, Brian Noble, saying, hey, listen, I'm not just a bench player anymore. He wants to start. He really has thrown himself around.
Great ball off the ground. Cunningham's away, and here comes Fielden after him. But another rumbustious run from the St Helens and Great Britain hooker on the last.
They're paying the price for going high on the big fella.
High kick, looking for Anthony Stewart out here. He palms the ball back. Vicona hits the deck. It will be play on this, and it's back to 0 on the tackle count. Shields retains possession for his side. Golden opportunity then for St Helens early. Darren Britt, scorer of one of the 3 first half tries for Saints, takes the tackle. Cunningham's in at dummy half. Here now is Paul Wellens. Looks right and finds Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe helps it on to Gleeson. Gleeson trying to go inside them. Ball down by Lee Gilmore on at the start of this second half. For Brandon Costin, who got 2 tries in the first 40. Sean Hoppy now attacking the line. Moore and Fielden there.
Well, it's obviously that Brandon Costin scored 2 tries in that first half. He had a rib problem.
And of course Lee Gilmore, another member of the Great Britain party that will head down under at the back end of next week after the Thursday fixtures. Long ball, Wellens just couldn't take it in.
Got to be a knock on.
And it is.
Crowd don't like it, but they'd boo Peter Pan here. Yeah, that was a forward movement. Not the best pass from Kieran Cunningham. And when we saw that Vicona hit that ball from the wonderful high kick from Sculthorpe, 2 sets of 6 just come to nothing there.
Well, it's with Robbie Paul, hauled down by Chris Joynt. Quick play the ball to Vicona. He'll come down the short side. And let's go down to Bill Arthur, who is another member of the party heading off to Australia. Bill will be reporting on the build-up to the Test match for Sky Sports News, Sky News, and also for us on the day of the Test match itself. So Bill's on the plane with Great Britain. Let's now, though, get details of what was said in the half-time break.
I'm going to try and avoid getting injured in the next week, Eddie. You can rest assured of that. The news from the 2 coaches is that Saints coach Ian Millwood, patience is the watchword for his side, because they're maybe trying to force it a bit too much, getting into good positions, and as they just did a few moments ago, just spilling the final pass when they could have just eased off a little bit and wait for the opportunity to come. For the Bradford Bulls, Brian Noble, as that kick goes up and causes confusion in the Saints ranks. Brian Noble really wants the defence tightened up by his side, because they're not happy with those 18 points that the team have conceded, and likewise really wanting his side to just really take the opportunities that come their way and work towards the red zone rather than try and force the pace of this game. Both these sides really, according to their coaches, just guilty of doing that at the moment.
Okay, so I think calm down is the message from the 2 coaches, but very difficult in this atmosphere. 4 minutes to the second half gone, as we were at half time. Cunningham to Barry Ward. Barry Ward with an important trundle up the middle.
Exceptional speed there. Such a big man.
Sculthorpe. Wellens. Wellens a dummy. He's in. Paul Wellens. Bradford took the dummy. What a young star this fellow is, developing week on week. Will he play scrum half for Great Britain in a fortnight? Well, they don't mind where he plays, and I don't think David Waite will either. A terrific start.
He has to play, that's for sure. Cunningham back on the inside. The big run from the big fella Ward. And to set it all up, you can see that Bradford were very slow to get on with it. It was a good quick play of the ball. Look at that. Oh, that was an easy dummy. He just left them floundering there. And Peacock took the dummy. They always say that top quality players, they find their own room, they find their own pace, and they have the ability to just kid the defence, and they certainly sucked them in then.
Paul Wellens, a star of the Lancashire side, a star of the St Helens side, and Sculthorpe operating alongside him tonight at standoff. Only the 3rd time that the Sculthorpe-Wellens combination has been in operation at half-back for Saints, as Sculthorpe adds the extras. I wonder, is this the combination that David Waite thinks might unlock the Aussies?
There you see Peacock, number 12. He's undecided, he's going out wide. McDermott very slow to fill in the gap. Look, McDermott, stop. You can't afford to do that. Super League these days is so quick. McDermott, very slow indeed. Peacock misses him. That man scores yet again. And isn't he delighted?
So he should be. Fourth try of the campaign. And he was scrum half, coincidentally, against Bradford Bulls here last year when Saints won 38 points to 26. Well, it's 24-12 now, and early moments of this second half. This is Sean Hoppy, scragged by Stuart Fielden. Maybe had a second go at him then. There were words exchanged. Here's Cunningham.
Interesting to see Cunningham there. He's drifted out to taking the ball, first man out. First receiver, rather unusual. I don't think I've ever seen him play in that position before, but he's done it twice already in this first half.
Here he is now, though, in his usual dummy half role, and Sculthorpe clips the ball over the top. Vicona will have to chase this, but Robbie Paul takes control, as it turns out. And Paul is trapped by Newlock. Great chase.
But what about the kick? Sculthorpe put the back spin on that. Oh, Tiger Woods couldn't have done any better.
Stankovic, big hit on Vicona. The ball's trapped inside their own 10-metre zone. McDermott tackled again by Stankovic. Withers to Naylor. Naylor is grounded by Sculthorpe and Joint.
Again, they're getting out of the blocks as one unit. Look at that, that's pretty hard to pierce. That defence is solid.
Good hands, though, from Bradford. And here is Richard Moore. Stankovic gets to him. That's the last. Good defence from St Helens. Here's Deacon, he's going for a 40-20. Stewart has come back to cut the opportunity out and will pick up on his own try line. Injury news coming in from Bill.
Well, one or two Bradford players just nursing knocks at the moment. Lee Gilmore was hobbling a few moments ago. He's still not moving totally comfortably, but has waved away the physio. Richard Moore has got a bloody nose. He's just had treatment on the run. Meanwhile, Brandon Crostin is off the pitch. We saw him at the end of the first half just holding his side gingerly, but it turns out he's sprung a rib, and I don't think it's going to take any further part in this game, Crostin, and that injury will give the Saints fans a bit of satisfaction at least, because of course it was Crostin's tackle on Sean Long that led to his injury.
Thanks, Bill. It's now the Bradford's turn to defend stoutly.
There's a blood bin there.
Yes, Richard Moore's on his way to the blood bin. Referee spotted that bloody nose that Bill was talking about. So Richard Moore goes to the sideline.
Well, he certainly brought more intensity into this side. They'll want him back as soon as possible.
7 games on loan at London early this year for Richard Moore.
But again, that's the key, Eddie. They've been bamboozled by this wonderful offloading by St Helens. Quick play the ball, and Bradford, they've got to turn this into an arm wrestle. They've got to try to suck St Helens into a real forward battle. Not easy.
It isn't. 12-point lead for Saints. 9 minutes of the second half gone. Sculthorpe with the kick over the top, and that's a great kick again. It's just too long, though. Vicona allows it to run it dead, or for it to run dead.
Not far off the mark, though. As I mentioned before, the kick before that was superb. They kick at the bottom of the ball and it's in the air, it's back spinning, and when it normally does that, it virtually stands up as soon as it hits terra firma.
Bradford haven't really got the ball out yet to Vita Vicona, the joint leading try scorer in the Super League, along with Graham Mackay of Hull. They haven't had the opportunity to spread it wide. They might spread it down the left-hand side now, though. Oh, Withers has gone without it.
Was he offside? Oh, he looked as though he came from an offside position.
Well, the ball went backwards, was the call from the touch judge far side. Bradford retained possession.
This is the incident.
If you lose it when you're pushing it out there,
50-50.
You've got it.
But up until there, I must say, Robert Connolly's had a fine game. It's intense, and you can see there, Ian Millwood.
He's getting a little bit animated, isn't he?
Well, he never shies away from emotion, does he?
Good chase by Lowes on Hoppy.
Did well there, Hoppy. Lowes was trying to reef that ball away.
Hull are still 14-6 up in the jungle after an hour. This is the one. Oh, 26-16 as Peacock fouls Sculthorpe, who takes the quick penalty. Wow, what a result that will be down at Bellevue if Wakefield hang on. Well, what's happened to the wonderful merry month of May for Leeds? This could be 3 defeats in a row.
Can't believe it. They call it Flaming June. All the flames out at the moment. Someone light it quickly.
Well, it's a very significant result, not only for Leeds, but also for Warrington, who play Wigan on the Super League Live, Sky Sports 1 at 7 o'clock Saturday night. If Wakefield have won, it really does put the pressure on Warrington. And Ian Millwood is out and having a go. I think that's at the 4th official. Sculthorpe with the kick out wide. The ball comes back. It's back to 0 on the tackle count. It's been stolen. Mike Forshaw stole it off Kieran Cunningham.
Well, that's a feat in itself. So strong as Cunningham. Full credit to Forshaw because Bradford needs something.
This is Naylor. Newlove is there, Sculthorpe is there, Joint is there, Stewart is there.
I don't know why the tactics are that they're using Robbie Paul out wide of the centres. We've not seen much combination between Paul and Deacon, the two halves.
Here is Vicona. We said he's been quiet. That was a good ball to Withers. Good hit though by Stankovic. Wants to get on with it, Withers. Stankovic and Withers squaring up to each other. But here comes Forshaw. And Forshaw's out up the middle. He has support from Withers. Withers will score under the sticks. Bradford have hit back. Forshaw, the man who pinched the ball off Cunningham, was the right man in the right place at the right time then for Bradford. Made the break up the middle, and Withers was on his shoulder, and Withers touches down.
Well, this fella pinched the ball, and the St. Helens fans, they're pinching themselves. They can't believe what's happened. Forshaw, one of the elder statesmen in Super League, this is the incident. Or maybe Cunningham lost it. I think he lost it. Either way, it was Forshaw that came up with the ball and then came up. Neat little pass, good angle run there from Deacon. Back on the inside to Forshaw. Did ever so well. The fullback trailed down the middle. It's not over yet. It's all happening out there. It's getting rough, it's getting tough. St. Helens, they cannot rest on their laurels. The quality and class that inside this Bradford outfit will make sure that it will go to the wire.
Deacon from bang in front doesn't miss those. It's 24-18 and the match is bubbling along nicely at Knowsley Road. Withers, very important try. 7th game in a row at fullback. Didn't score against Salford last week. 6 tries in 4 previously though. Ian Millwood's back in the front row of the director's box. Was having a real discussion with the 4th official about something or other.
Well, I think, Eddie, that remember the referee stopped the game when St. Helens had possession and therefore allowed Bradford the chance to get their one line of defence set up.
That was to put more in the blood bin.
That's right, but he really should have waited until Bradford had possession of the football.
Maybe that's what was upsetting him. Bill is chasing the line up. Here is Robbie Paul again. He's got Naylor with him. Naylor, though, puts the ball down.
Frustration. That's all it is. He's only himself to blame. Nothing wrong with the pass at all. Just had a little look at Newlove coming in towards him, and this shows the frustration. A wild kick at the football.
Right, what was Ian Millwood going potty about, Bill?
Peter Shields' knee, to be precise, Eddie. There was some dispute with the 4th official over whether there was a legitimate cut on Peter Shields' right knee, and the 4th official's view was that it wasn't sufficient to be regarded as a blood bin, and that was what the dispute was about, and the 4th official stuck to his guns.
So that's a change that obviously there is the 4th official, and that was obviously an argument that he won. Leslie Vinacolo has come on for Bradford Bulls. Here is Sculthorpe. This now is Darren Albert. Clunk straight into the tackle from Daniel Gartner. This is Britt.
Oh, what a hit there.
Ray Doran, by the way, is the 4th official who stood his ground with Mr. Millwood. Cunningham! He's pinched one. Has he on his comeback? Or is he short? He's short. Britt. Sculthorpe Off the feet. Vinokola has it.
It could have gone anywhere, that. Bradford player lunged at it. The ball didn't hit the man. I'm sure that a Bradford player definitely went for the ball. Luckily that Vinokola just got it in time.
Little fumble then by Robbie Paul. Here is Peacock.
But how close was Cunningham here? Oh!
6
Just
inches.
about 6 inches there.
Vinokola flicks the ball back. Gartner picks it up for the Bulls.
All of a sudden, Saints, they look a little bit lackadaisical now. They're hanging off.
Yes, just as in the first half. Bradford getting second wind here. Robbie Paul jinking away from Joint. And jinking away from Stankovic, but no, Stankovic collars him. Last tackle.
Well, that looked a little bit like the Tallis tackle, didn't it? The midweek game, State of Origin, New South Wales, Queensland. What a match that was. But boy, oh boy, these players have certainly served up just one as good, if not better, Eddie.
Absolutely. The very best that the Tetley Super League has to offer here. Top against second. Bradford on top at the moment. Saints are second, 2 points behind them. What a lift it would give to St Helens if they close the gap tonight. What a lift it would give to Bradford if they went 4 clear. And there's 23 minutes remaining. Cunningham. Barry Ward. Barry Ward. Deacon brings him down.
Creating the problems, but he wanted to get on with it. That's been a fine feature of Saints tonight. They wanted to get on with the business, play the ball quickly. They're testing the referee, these Bradford tacklers.
Sculthorpe with the kick out wide, looking for Stewart again. Vinokola claims it. He was tackled in the air, though, by Newlove.
What a great take, though. Talk about Mr. Cool. He definitely lifted up. Well, 50-50, I thought. He was on his way down.
No, it's a good decision.
Scott Naylor certainly did well just to shepherd it, but
don't think, by the way, Steve, the referee has been named yet for that Australia-Great Britain Test match. Robert Connolly is a candidate.
Sure is, on tonight's performance.
He did the first test in the Ashes series last year, and what's perhaps even more important from a British point of view, Australia don't like him much.
Well, he brought us a little bit of luck that day, didn't he? You're not saying that he may have been biased.
Not at all, just that the Australians didn't like him. Like we don't like Bill Harrigan, Steve. We're not saying he's biased either. Lowe's. Paul. Oh, lovely jink from Robbie Paul.
Operating a little bit more down the centre now, and it's becoming effective.
Here's McDermott.
Oh, he felt that. He felt that Brit lined him up.
Yes,
and he will look at him and say, good tackle, mate.
Yeah, puff the cheeks out then. Deacon got the ball away. Oh, he's given a penalty.
10 minutes.
Someone's taking 10 in the bin.
I think he must have taken him out.
Stankovic.
I think he was interfering with the man off the football. And 10 minutes in the sin bin, he doesn't like it. That is this fella, but
that could be a massive call from Bob Connolly.
My word, it's a jink here. He took him out. No doubt in my mind. He definitely took the man out.
And well, Stankovic is in the sin bin for 10 minutes. 24-18. Bradford will surely take the kick at goal here.
Well, I'm not so sure that this is the... I don't mean this one. Talking about the kick at goal, yeah, Stankovic pulled him back.
What a crucial time, though, Steve-O, to be reduced to 12 men with an hour or thereabouts on the clock.
Well, he's been a culprit all the time. Definitely get Abdullah Gartner, and that was good refereeing by Mr. Connolly, but the clock's ticking away while they're taking the 2 points.
And Deacon accepts them gratefully. 24-20. Saints down to 10 men. Bradford back now within 4 points of the Saints. Phil Clark, a vital period of the match approaches.
Yeah, there's, I think, the quality in the second half game has risen dramatically, and we're due now for a usual crescendo, the usual finish we get here at Knowsley Road. And for some players, I think this could be payback time tonight. Paul Wellens being one of them. He suffered a little bit of mental and physical pain in the challenge at Valley Parade earlier in the season, about 2 months ago. And I just thought when he went over for that try, it was his turn to have his own back after that day. But Bradford now, they seem to have got the role, and the momentum's certainly behind them now with the player advantage.
Indeed so. So St Helens have got 9 minutes or thereabouts to hang on with the man down.
Well, this is a moment where they've got to start looking for spreading the ball out wide.
Good to see Vainicolo back, by the way, for the Bradford point of view. He's not had the happiest of times in the Super League this year, been injured for a long spell, and it's rather like getting a brand new player back, having Leslie Vainicolo, the New Zealand international, returning. 40-20 here from Deacon. 40-20. Not sure. It's up to the touch judge.
Bit short, I feel.
It's just this side of the line.
Don't like it. He said, why don't you go to the screen? But I think the touch judge...
They can't go for the screen for where it crosses.
Yeah.
Only where they kick it.
But they were trying to ask the touch judge.
Well, that gives you the impression he's got it spot on, the touch judge.
Yep. But there again, it's a difficult angle.
You can't tell.
The touch judge is there. I mean, there's been talk, Eddie, over the past months about using someone sat at the side, just specifically looking at that from the angle, having maybe young referees involved, or even a flexible...
Beautiful ball from Sculthorpe to Wellens. What a pass!
Was it ever? But good scrambling defence.
This is a crucial time. If St Helens score now with one man light, it will read a real hammer blow.
Listen to this crowd now.
Cunningham, it's on the bounce to Newlove. Newlove taking on Lowe's and Fielden. Last tackle 20 metres away. Joint will attack the line. Sculthorpe will dab the kick through. Here's Darren Albert. There's a try. There's a try for Albert if he's onside. Albert came from nowhere. And the grounding also under question. So it's the kick and the grounding. Now Darren Albert's face is giving nothing away.
Be interesting to see this one. But this man, Paul Sculthorpe, yet again, goes for the kick. Oh, I think he's just in front. I think he's just half a metre in front of the ball kicker.
Well, he's one of the fastest in the game, Steve-O. Did he get there that quick?
I don't think so. I think it was just a shade in front. Kick there. Oh, he's well in front.
Well, here's the head of
Yeah,
goal.
no, I know you say he's fast.
Nothing wrong with the grounding.
Oh, yeah, he got that down. But there, I think he's just in front. They'll take it frame by frame.
I'm not sure. I think
They've got to go there.
I think he's behind him.
No, I think he's in front.
He's come from behind him.
Well, he has come from behind him. He's not going to come from in front, is he?
You just said he's in front.
No, he's in front at the impact of the ball.
Go on, then make your decision.
Oh, he'll probably give it, knowing the video referee. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone for the grounding. Grounding's all right. But there again. That's fine. Full control. As I mentioned earlier, the Australians score like that all the time. Obviously, TRY, Sculthorpe's got the T-peg up there. He knows it is.
He's given it. Brian Noble is unconvinced. Darren Albert is quick. And he proved it then. He hits double figures. Ian Millwood, I think, knows that could have gone either way. Well, a maybe critical blow with a man light.
It all happens. And this was a beautiful pass inside to Wellens. He's been outstanding for Sculthorpe tonight. 2 tries, he's been involved with everything. He took it well, did the fullback Albert. As I mentioned before, Sculthorpe came up with the first mistake of the game that allowed Costin in for the try. First try of the match, but ever since then, this guy has had plenty to cheer about.
Sculthorpe 4 from 4, Sculthorpe 5 from 5, 30 points to 20.
Well, he's the all-wear man, isn't he? He's always around. As Eddie has mentioned, he has the speed. He needed it.
It's the 5th time he's played at full-back, and he's operating in that position for the first time in his life at St Helens this year. And here he is again. Tommy Martin has come on to rapturous applause.
Good move as well there by Ian Millward. He obviously is looking to utilise Martin with the 40-20 kicks. He has a wonderful habit of just bringing them about at crucial moments, and a 10-point lead. They know how important that could be.
Sculthorpe tackled by Gilmore. Darren Albert. And here is Mike Bennett. That's the last.
But how many controversial issues do we get when these two teams play it? Oh. It's amazing, isn't it?
Gleeson caught in possession, didn't hear the call. Neither did Cunningham. His body language told you that. This now is Robbie Paul.
And I'll take you back to that situation where they took the 2 points and offer rather than trying to squeeze for the 6. Maybe they've paid the price as well.
Gartner does well. Vinacolo. Good tackle, Cunningham. McDermott, Castleford clawing their way back into the match against Hull. 14-12, 32-28, a nail biter at Bellevue. Great stuff in the Super League, isn't it? No easy matches. Deacon.
Great tackle by Joint there. Wasn't going to be fooled by the dummy.
Lowe's. Gartner. Trying to offload. Well wrapped up, though, by Gleeson. Last one for the Bulls. They want it out wide with the kick, and it will come from Deacon's boot. Hoppy hands it down. Picked up, and away goes Martin.
Was he offside, though?
No,
in goal. Oh, well, that's fine. Oh, they don't like it. Fielden's got it. Yeah, that's all right. I thought he was in the field of play, but on the replay, quite clear. Good refereeing there yet again from Connolly. It's getting tasty out there.
Good combination by touch judge and referee there. Barry Ward up the middle again. High shot on Barry Ward.
Not happy, Jimmy. Little doubt about it. Right into the face of the big fella. I must say he's got through a lot of work as Barry Ward. There's the culprit. This is the knock into the in-goal area. I think it came off Hoppy, but another yard. Maybe that could have been deemed as a knock-on.
Peter Shields has a problem here.
Well, another controversial decision. Robert Connolly, to be fair, he was confident that Hoppy didn't knock on.
Tommy Martin knocked on then.
This is it. Now then, who got a fingertip to it? Oh, I think that might have been Hoppy. That should have been a knock-on. Irrespective of where Martin came from in the in-goal area. Well, a big call. Let's have a look at it again, slow motion. Up they go, and I think that came off the St Helens player. More controversy.
Looked like he might have lost it then. Mike Forshaw. A knock-on, of course, would have meant a goal line dropout. Here's Gilmore. Great defence.
Well, it's amazing. We always put the mocker sometimes on these players. We said that Tommy Martin come out to do the 40-20, finishes up doing a knock-on 4-inch and 2-inch.
Joint with a very good tackle on Robbie Paul. Gartner dummy half. Here is Vangenaar. Looking to offload and does to Lowe's. Luke pass then to Gartner. Vicona wants it wide. Vicona's got it wide. Inside Newlove. Inside the fullback. Easy. Well, we said he's been quiet. He's suddenly come alive. Tavita Vicona, 15 tries now for the year. As soon as that ball reached him, it was a try. He went through Newlove like he wasn't there, and Wellens couldn't get to him with the flying tackle.
What an offload, though, from Vangenaar. Back on the inside. Jimmy Lowe skirting as he normally does. Made sure he got it out wide to Withers. Not the best pass, it didn't matter. He just sailed through. Defence wasn't all that brilliant, but they were stretched. They were all coming at the angle. But this pass says it all. We are not done. The Bulls are still up and running. Gardner, beautiful man outside. He did the rest. We're in for a great finish.
Deacon's gone 5 from 5 now. We are in for a great finish. 30 points to 26.
Well, the skill factor tonight has been outstanding. We've seen some beautiful short passes from Paul Sculthorpe. Great kicks from him also. Great finish from this fella Vicona. But the Vangenard offload, that was something special.
Outside. That's a good line.
Well, it's John Stankovic in the sin bin and a try apiece to these two fine sides. And last 10 minutes, I wouldn't like to try and pick a winner. Could go either way. Vainikolo. Wide it goes to Gilmore. Gilmore's off. Wellens stands his ground. A magnificent tackle.
Great positioning by the fullback. There was no one supporting on the inside. But good work from Gilmore.
Let's go, here we go, Tom.
It's not over, they're not done.
They aren't done. Here is Deacon. Deacon just showed it and gets a few more metres towards the post. Barry Ward got to him.
We haven't seen a run from dummy from this fella.
We still haven't. It's with Robbie Paul. Now it's with Withers. Newlove was on him in a flash.
Picked him out superbly.
Last tackle, 10 metres away, the Bulls. Vicona again. Backing himself, Vicona.
Oh, it was close. Did it go over the whitewash?
No, drop out underneath the sticks. It was a St Helens boot, and I think it belonged to Wellens.
It was, but would it go over? He was shepherding it. Oh yes, just at the very last moment. Gardner was denied a try by about half an inch. He knows that it's not all over.
The drop out is poor. It's right into the arms of Withers. Here now is McDermott.
Well, it's amazing. For periods of play, the forwards from Bradford had been non-existent. Then all of a sudden, Joe Vangenard, this fella has played out of his skin in the last couple of minutes.
Lowe's.
He's at a 10-minute purple patch, and you can feel the difference now in this Bradford outfit.
There are some very tired men out there. Deacon, Forshaw, a gap for Forshaw. Oh, what a glorious chance!
Why didn't he go on his own?
He was in.
All he had to do was dive over the line. There was a man on the inside, which is Robbie Paul. I cannot believe what I have just seen. It was a wonderful step from that fella. Why did he have to pass?
Cunningham's away again. Not for long. Look at this.
Look at the step there. He would have gone right the way through. Wellens, I'm sure. Oh, bombed it.
Nickel. That was high from McDermott. Referee didn't see it like that. Last tackle.
Watch your tackles, Brian. Watch your tackles, borderline.
Martin drills the kick through. Withers, Fielden, trapped, but away from Martin. Good chase by Bennett.
No way to go, though. Surprised me that Withers offloaded there to the big fella, Stuart Fielden.
Well, Hull against St Helens next Thursday. We're live at the Boulevard on Sky Sports 3, Thursday at 8 o'clock. And tune in to Rugby League World on Wednesday, because we've got some very big news coming for you as rugby league fans in this country. We will be interactive on Sky Sports with Rugby League and the Super League from next Thursday. More details on Wednesday in Rugby League World.
Jimmy Lowes went for the 40-20 there, but it's a good chase.
Hoppy to Wellens. Wellens trying to go around Gartner, can't.
Still plenty of time. St Helens will be aware of that, so no mistakes. That'll be the call from Ian Millwood. It has to be as well. And then maybe a beautiful kick from Tommy Martin. Oh, he's on his way.
Did well to flick that back. Did Mike Bennett, and Cunningham retains possession for the Saints. Bradford are swarming at them here. Nickel. What a finish we've got. Let's get down to Phil.
I'll tell you what, so far in this game, St Helens have done pretty well in denying possession to Bradford near their own try line. Although in the last 10 minutes, They're going to do that. This is the perfect opportunity here now for Bradford to get in front. But hey, even if they do, I wouldn't write it off for sets to come back.
Definitely not. Cunningham takes a very well-earned breather.
He looked tired, Eddie, but what a game he's had.
Well, they've got Mickey Hyam sitting on the bench. Not a bad replacement. Why shouldn't he come on for the last 5 minutes or so? Now then, this is vital for Bradford. Forshaw to Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul surrounded, but fleet of foot. Now he'll straighten it up.
Let go.
Shields all over the top of him, the man who came up with the error. This is McDermott. He'll drive it in towards those posts. They're 11 metres shy of them. And Lowe's at dummy half. Fielden is the runner. Fielden still the runner. Fielden just hauled back.
Rollins put his body on the line then.
That's how close they are, Bradford. Looping past to Deacon. Deacon shows it. Gives it to Van den Aert. What a tackle low down. Hyam it was. Lowe's now. Here is Deacon. Back on the inside. Forshaw. Oh, Hyam again.
Mickey Hyam has been the saviour on 2 occasions.
Lowe's tries to drill it through.
And Alligator
Hyam
picks it up.
again.
What a saviour. There's a real old battle. They're throwing them like you wouldn't want to believe in the background. They're still throwing them. Oh, Vanakola is into him. It is gone berserko. Leslie Vanakola is nearly in the crowd.
Well, Jimmy Lowe's dabbed the ball through towards the in-goal area, and then all hell broke loose when Mickey Hyam picked up the ball and was starting to run it out. Well, the cameras will have caught it. We'll find out who the culprit is. It looks like Scothorpe against Vanakola at the moment.
Well, the kick from Jimmy Lowe's was not successful. It bobbled around. There was a lot of bodies pulling and shoving.
Well, the crowd hush and everyone now looking at our big screen. Here it is. Forshaw and Nicol.
Forshaw went with the swing first. Then Bennett threw one into Forshaw. Vanakola didn't like it. Forshaw caught one, but Forshaw was the first to throw. I think this will all end up a penalty. There'll be a few in the sin bin.
I think
Vanakola will be one. Forshaw will be one. Someone threw some tea or a beer. Here it goes. Nicol and Forshaw, but I'm sure it was Forshaw that attempted first. And it was a mere fact that Bennett hit Forshaw from the blind side, and Vanakola didn't like it. And as you can see, no one liked it other than the fans in that corner.
While you've been watching that, the powwow has taken place in the middle, and Robert Connolly is looking directly at the screen now and looking at his own pretty face. Leslie Vanakola picked out by the crowd.
Well, he lost his cool, didn't he, Vanakola?
To be fair, apparently that shot of Robert Connolly was taken while we were watching the replay on the big screen. And he wants Mike Forshaw, who's on his way to the bin, so that'll be the end of him.
Well, he certainly started. Bennett must go, because he came in. Nicol must go, and Vanakola must go.
Sonny Nicol.
Sonny
It is again. Forshaw didn't like it, pushed away. Or maybe it was Nicol that had it. Well, it's 50-50. Neither of them made contact. This is the stupidity about it is. But Bennett certainly did. Well, Bennett gave him a king hit from the blind side, and that's the reason why Vanakola took...
On report, right, there's 2 players in the sin bin. There's 4 minutes left. Calm it down. You are still in the game, right? And you are still defending and attacking. Calm your players down. We might get a penalty. Okay.
Penalty goes to St Helens for the original offence. 2 are in the sin bin.
Yes.
The whole event is on report. Talk about boiling. Talk about boiling point. We've just passed it.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? Mike Bennett, who certainly got a good punching, as did Leslie Vanakola. He got a good punching. The 2 guys who never connected, they're having a 10-minute rest. Game's over for them.
Yes, we'll finish this with 12 aside. but it's still to be won. Bradford know that.
Here we go, Robbie, here.
And they've been the dominant force in the last quarter of an hour. Mickey Hyam still.
He saved the day as Mickey Hyam, I'll tell you.
Tommy Martin's the dummy half. Chris Joint, tackled by Paul and Fielden. Referee now policing the play of the ball. Stankovic to Peter Shields. Bang off Vangenaar.
Oh, come on, Jamie.
This kick has to be good. No messing around.
It's a high one. It's a tester for Vainikolo. It's bounced. St Helens have it with Sculthorpe. St Helens have it. It's bounced again. It's a try for Wellens.
It certainly is.
That's a try for Wellens.
It doesn't matter whether they're offside or not because the Bradford player touched it. And that's the reason why this will be given. Sculthorpe went down the blind side.
The kick through as well. I think it was just
but I think
the ball.
He's got it down. No problems with that. That's a try.
And it came off a Bradford leg, as you so rightly said.
So therefore, the offside didn't come into it. This is TRY, but this is more DIY. This kid did it all on his own. Talk about do it yourself. Oh, what an effort. They let it bounce. They took it the risk. It went all over the joint. It went their way. Look at Sculthorpe. Knew that Vainikolo would come in from the wing.
He kicked it himself anyway. He's got to be onside. Wellens kicked it.
Yeah. Either way, it ricocheted. I think it was off with his leg.
It's the second try for Paul Wellens. That's what we say.
What an effort.
Steve Cross is the video referee, as we've said all night.
No worries at all.
St Helens have won it now. Ian Millwood delighted. Brian Noble disconsolate. Paul Wellens. Wow. This player is growing in stature week by week. The chapters are already being written about him.
I called for a good kick and Bradford paid the price of not attempting to get it on the last. And you could see there that Vainikolo, the inexperienced, had left his wing, left a little gap, and who else but Sculthorpe created it. This is a wonderful high kick from Tommy Martin. That's the reason why Millwood sent him out there. Don't worry about anything else, just make sure that your kicking game's good. What an effort from Wellens. You little beauty. He knows it's 2 points in the bag.
Well, if Sculthorpe kicks this, it's 20 points for him personally. He's missed it. It's 18. That is a personal achievement that is of no matter. 34-26 is the only statistic Sculthorpe and the other Saints will be worried about.
Well, I said at half-time when Kieran Cunningham made that break on the replay, I said, are you watching Australia? Well, here's a kid you've got to keep your eye out for too. And the man who scored, Wellens.
Well, a short free kick fooled Chris Joint.
But I think he knows that there's not enough time.
Cunningham has played his part. So has Darren Britt.
He knows that Bradford can't score 2 tries in the final seconds remaining.
They can close the gap. Final score at the Jungle. Hull have beaten Castleford. And the one we're waiting for. Oh, Leeds have snatched it. What a comeback from Leeds.
Well, they must be devastated at Bellevue. Probably controlled the game throughout and then just got beaten on the post, as you say.
Oh, well, St Helens are going to join Bradford at the top. It's just a question of what the victory margin is now. And Saints want it to be the 8 points. Lowe's the dummy half. They must be devastated, Bradford. They played so well in this second 40. Here's Fielden. Fielden is surrounded, and Fielden won't go down. The tackle is now held.
Hands off.
Play the ball. Lowe's. Vangenaar! Lost it.
Knock on. He's picked it up, Robert Connolly.
That's it.
He has missed nothing.
That's it. Brian Noble knows.
They had their chances.
Ian Millwood has done it again. He's conjured up something from somewhere.
Well, we said, Eddie, that if they keep the ball alive, they'd score tries. Bradford had to come back at them. They may concede a few. This is a knock-on. He tried it, everything he could. It's all over.
Well, it is, but it's a penalty. So the game has got to be started. He's got to take the tackle, which he does, Gleeson. Match over. Saints win. Another night of drama at Knowsley Road. And Ian Millward has conjured up another famous victory in his St Helens career. What a match. What a fantastic match from the very top of the Super League. St Helens 34, Bradford Bulls 26.